Okay, let's talk about great chords to use for that last chord of a song, the 6/9 chord, and a few others. Let's get started. All right, so you just finished your song and you want to hit a really nice chord for that end ring. You might just hit an E chord. That might be all you need, but maybe you want something with a little more flavor, so you might add a 6/9 chord. This is what we're going to be going over today, and I'll real quick run through all the chords we're going to go over, and then we'll get into why these chords are called this and what notes we're adding to these chords to make them sound so cool. So here they are. All right. Now let's learn a little bit about the theory behind the triad, the E major triad, and these notes that we're adding to it. Here we go. Okay, so in the key of E, our root note is an E. So that's the one of the chord. Then we build our triad in thirds. So we go E, skip a note, to G sharp. G sharp is the third, and it's a major third away from that root note, which means it's 2 whole steps. Then our next note of the triad is the 5th. So we skip over the 4th and we get to the 5th, which is B, the 5th. And that is a minor third away from a G sharp. That's a whole and a half step. So that makes up our triad, E, G sharp, B. Okay? Then the next thing that people usually add is the 7th. Now the 7th is a little bit weird because there's a major 7th and a dominant 7th chord. The major 7th sticks with the key that we're in E. So that's E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. D sharp is that major 7th sound, and that would sound like this. Kind of very happy sounding. All right? But usually when we see E7, we're dealing with a dominant sound. So we're going to use the D note, and that gives us this sound. Right? That D note is more bluesy rock and roll sounding than the major 7th. But we're not talking about the 7ths right now. We're talking about the 6th and the 9th. So in the key of E, we're going to our triad, E, G sharp, B. To make a 6th chord, we're going to add a C sharp. And to make a 6/9 chord, we're going to add the C sharp and the F sharp. The 9th is the same note as the 2nd, but it's up a whole octave. Okay? So that's what we're dealing with. We've got E, G sharp, B, C sharp, and F sharp to make our E6/9 chord. Now we don't need all of these notes represented. We can get rid of one of these triad notes, but to have a 6/9, you're going to need the C sharp and the F sharp. Okay? So all of my voicings have 4 notes in them, and then I have the low E string ringing out at the bottom to give us a nice bass note. Okay? So let's look at these chords. Okay, let's get to these chord shapes. So the first one out of the gate, we have the low E. Then we have the E on the 4th string, 2nd fret. G sharp on the 3rd string, 1st fret. Then we're going to add, so that's our E chord, right? E, E, G sharp. Then we're going to have our C sharp and F sharp on the 2nd fret of the 2nd and 1st string. So I'm going to play that all with my 3rd finger laying flat across. You could also do it like this with your 3rd finger and your pinky. That kind of cramps me a little bit. I like to just do it all with that finger, whichever one works for you. listen to that. Add a little Bigsby. Really nice sounding chord. So that's the first E6-9 chord in open position. All right. So the next one that we're going to go to, we're going to jump up to the 7th fret and the 6th fret. So I've got 7th on the first string, 7th on the second string, 6th fret on the third string, and 6th fret on the 4th string. So I have G sharp, that's out of my E chord. I've got C sharp, that's my 6. I've got my F sharp, that's my 9. And I've got the B, right? And then my low E string, it gets me the root of the triad. Right? That's pretty sweet sounding. So we have, very nice. The next 6-9 chord is going to be up here on the 12th fret. That's 12, 12, 11, 11. So you have the E on the first string, B on the second string. You've got the F sharp on the third string, and the C sharp on the 4th string, and your root on the bottom. All right, so now we have, and then we repeat our open position chord up an octave. So we've got 14, 14, 13, 14. All right, so those are the 6-9 chords that I use frequently, ending a song, or all right. The other two chords that I want to show you are just an E6 chord. I call this the Beatles chord. This is going to go straight across the 9th fret. It's going to go 9, 9, 9, 9. So this is an E triad, B, E, G sharp on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. And then you've got your C sharp on the top string, 9th fret. So you've got, right? That's a very nice ending chord. So that's the E6 chord. So no 9 in that one. And then this is my favorite go-to end chord for a rockabilly song. I also use it a lot when I'm soloing. This is called an E9 chord, but it's a special voicing of it that I really like. So I have to include it on this video of end chords. So an E9 chord is the root, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, and the 9th. So it's the dominant 7th, the D, and the 9th, the F sharp. So we have on the 4th string, 12th fret, that's the D, that's the 7th, dominant 7th. You have the F sharp on the 3rd string. You've got the G sharp, which is the 3rd of the chord, on the 2nd string. That's 12th fret, 11th fret. This is the 9th fret on the 3rd string, 2nd string. And then you've got the root on the 12th fret with your pinky. So that's your E. And then you got your E on the bottom too. So take a look at that. 12th fret, 11th, 9th fret, and 12th fret up there. Okay? So I loved using... All right. right, so I'm going to play through these chords ascending, going up my neck. So I'm starting with the E6-9, E6-9, E6, E6-9, E6-9, and then ending with the E9 chord. I'm going to give you the tabs for all of these chords. Spend some time just playing around and ending songs with those chords. You can move them to any root note. So if I'm in G, I've got my G chord, G6-9, G6-9, my G6, my G9 chord that I like. Right? You can move all of these chords. They're all movable. So it's not just for the key of E. It just sounds so nice having that bottom low bass string ring while I'm playing all those other notes. All right? Have a great week. Here's the tab with all of the chords. Bye.